obviously, I had to go through something. I went through quite an ordeal, with our last trip, and I feel very blessed and thank God to still be here. And obviously, anytime you go through a situation like that, it makes you count your blessings, and literally, thankful for every breath you have. Really, to be honest, when you go through an ordeal like that, and you deal with something of that nature and everything. So again, I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about getting a chance to get back with our team and getting our team up and going. And I know our team's excited about trying to continue to compete and trying to get back on track and get going a little bit.
Coach, obviously lost those two road games but now you have a chance with 3 home games: Southern Miss, La Tech, and UTSA. Talk about the opportunity at home against these 3 quality opponents in Conference USA.
Sure, and even before that, Adrian, I'd just like to say also, I'd like to thank everyone that reached out and gave me some well wishes in terms of trying to get better and have a speedy recovery. And it was really hard to answer a lot of the texts and a lot of the calls and responses that you receive, and it's a little overwhelming at times with the response that you got from that. But I want to thank everybody for reaching out, and if you did reach out and I haven't had a chance to get back to you or say thank you to you, I really appreciate that, and appreciate you keeping me in your prayers and things of that nature as well. But to answer your question in regards to our homestand that we have right now in conference play, obviously we started the first 2 games on the road and had 2 games where we played well enough to win both games. I mean, we didn't play well in the first half at FIU, but we played in the second half well enough to put ourselves in position to win that ball game. The second ball game over at FAU, we again didn't play perfect, but when you go on the road and you put yourself in a position where you have control of the game and have an opportunity to win the game, and you don't win the game, obviously you're disappointed, and obviously you have to come back and continue to work on the things you still need to fix to get better as a team to help you close out those kind of games. Now you come home, and again, anytime in conference play, I've said this in January. January is a grind. We're all very familiar with each other in terms of how you play, your personnel, a lot of your tendencies. Now you got to really execute, and you got to value taking care of the ball. And being at home is not enough. I think in our league, on any given night, if you're not ready to play, anybody can beat anybody. I don't care if you're at home or if you're on the road. So we know being at home is not enough, and we got to try to outcompete teams for 40 minutes, and we got to continue to get better in practice every day and challenge each other to get better in practice every day. But there's a lot of basketball to be played. Southern Miss is a team a year ago played a great game against us, probably one of the better games of the year that we faced all year. In terms of the deficit that we had to overcome against those guys. So, you have in a player like Drain, we know he's an elite shooter, an elite level shooter. Watson's a really good player that can score the basketball. They got a number of really quality players, and Stevenson is a good player. So they got a quality group of players that we know can come in and compete at a high level. We got to come in and we got to play well ourselves. And we don't look past the next game. We know all we can control right now is the next 40 minutes in front of us, and we got to do that 4 minutes by 4 minutes.
What did you think about your point guard play this week with the change there?
I thought, we have young guards, period, and, as much as we want to think of those guys being juniors and seniors, they're sophomores. They're sophomores, and we said from the very beginning, as our guard play continued to get better, our team will continue to improve and get better and value taking care of the ball and making decisions with the ball. But I thought, again, between Nigel and Sule playing a little bit of the point as well, I thought they did a nice job. I thought, Nigel did a really nice job with his decision making. I thought he did a great job attacking downhill and controlled the game for a better part of the second ball game over there against FAU. So I was pleased with our guard play. I thought, in the FIU game, obviously we had 13 turnovers to start the game. We didn't start the game the way we needed to. We worked against pressure defense the entire week, leading up to that, knowing that we were going to get pressed. And we've always been a team that took a lot of pride in handling pressure and never getting sped up. And we want to play in attack mode, but play on our terms.
Do you think the struggle that you've had on the road, at least in the past 2 games, had a lot to do with the acclimation of new point guards into the mix?
No, I really don't think so. I really don't. I think again, I think our team's playing hard. I can't fault our effort. I think again, we gave 20 minutes away against FIU. You can't give 20 minutes away in a conference game or in conference period and expect to come back and win. We played really well in the second half. First half over there, we didn't play the way we're capable of playing, and as a result of that, it cost us the game, and stuff. But again, I don't think it had to do with guard play in particular, because we had other guys turning the ball over that led us in turnovers, so it wasn't particularly at the guard spot, you know what I mean?
Why would you think you'd get in so much turnover after a real nice start in the preseason? And I mean, turnovers, they cost games.
No, they do, and again, when you look at turnovers and value and taking care of the basketball, or you being sped up, or you're doing something that you're not comfortable doing, or you're doing something that's really not in your role to do. And that's what I think some of our guys are in between at times that lead to those situations. But again, I say this all the time. You want to be playing your best basketball when it counts. And we've got a team that have a chance to continue to improve and get better. And there's a lot of basketball to still be played right now. So, there are teams that are going to go through stretches where they don't play particularly well, and they have to deal with adversity. And, we've had to do that at the first part of the conference slate, and so, again, it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
What do you see from Coach Paulino and just the rest of the staff in the 2 road games to start conference play? Obviously, they're sort of rallying around, staying together as a unit. And it's
Sure. No, my staff's done a great job all year with preparation, and those guys have done a great job putting our guys in position all year long, with us offensively, defensively, with the schemes that we're working. They've done a great job with that. We have a close-knit staff in terms of doing things, and we work together as a team. And I have a lot of confidence in those guys getting done what they need to get done, and they have very good rapport with our guys, and so there was never really a doubt in my mind in terms of them being able to get the job done and having our guys in position to win games.
Caden Archie earned his first start this past weekend. How has he been progressing throughout his time and since being eligible on this team?
Well, he's a big wing, and you like to play with a big wing. Everybody, a lot of times traditionally have big wings that you start games with. Hopefully, wings that can give you some defensive intensity to start the game. Also, he should be a guy that drives the basketball, gets extra possessions for us in terms of rebounding. And, Caden has all those abilities and attributes to be one of those kind of guys that gives us that kind of presence.
Effie had 13 points on Saturday, had a pretty good game off the bench. What does he need to do in practice to warrant more minutes in games?
Well, again, I think, you look down the roster of our team, they're all young guys. Caden Archie's still a guy, still learning to play college basketball, as a sophomore. Effie, had to play a lot as a freshman. So much with young players, it's about the approach, you know what I mean? Guys physically can go out and do some things, but their approach really allows them to really excel and be really good and be consistent in what they do. So that's the thing he's been challenged with, your approach and your consistency every day with what you do in practice, and hopefully have some carryover in games.
Where'd you watch the game from Saturday?
I watched it hard from the locker room. It was really hard. It's really hard to watch it from the locker room, you really, the communication piece is just really hard to communicate. You're watching it as much as you guys are watching it, you know what I mean? Because, you can't really relay information at the rate you need to relay it, or get information that you want to get in there at a timely fashion. So, extremely difficult, extremely hard, because you want to be there to help your team and, give whatever insight that you possibly can give to help your team be in a position to win those kind of games and stuff. But that's where I was. It was a difficult place to be.
As far as what happened to you, and it just shuts everything off that everything about, and all of a sudden, people are telling you, hey, this, that, and the other, as far as your health. Has it changed your whole look at the way you look at things now?
Well, again, I don't know. I had a similar type situation prior to the start of last season. So I've had a couple of deals here. The Lord's given me a wake-up call in a couple of different areas in terms of, taking care of your health and valuing your health and putting a lot of things in perspective in terms of you know, obviously you want to be as good as you can be in the profession that you've chosen to do and do those things, you know, but you're only going to be as good as your health, and taking care of your body and taking care of yourself is a premium for you to do. But you value things a lot more, you know, you lean on your faith a lot more, and you know, you try not to have anxiety, especially after, you know, you go through a traumatic situation like I had that you had to deal with, where literally, you know, you're fighting for your breath, you know, and you value your breaths now. You know, you sit there saying, man, it's things we take for granted, and I said that to our guys, you know, you know, man, you take a breath every day and you're like, oh, it's no big deal, man. But when you're fighting for a last breath, or you have your airways narrowing up and you're having a hard time getting a breath, you know, now you have a whole different appreciation for that type of situation, you know, and you don't take it lightly, and you value every single day and every relationship that you have and your loved ones that you have, and hopefully you can leave an impact behind them and make other people around you better.
Was it medication or food?
I don't want to really get into specifics about any of that, really, to be honest with you. You know, I had an allergic reaction to something that my body didn't take to, and I'm dealing with it right now. So, but I'm gonna be okay moving forward. So I'm blessed.
Overall, how do you feel that your team is doing rebounding the ball?
Rebounding the ball, you know, we know, you know, from the beginning, we came back from Christmas break, we identified about 5 things we need to try to improve and try to fix with our team in terms of trying to improve and get better with. And rebounding was one of those things that for the first part of the season, you know, and rebounding gets down to kind of all want to, you know, there's, you know, obviously some techniques involved in terms of rebounding, you know, with your blockouts and things of that nature there. And we always try to say lowest man wins. You know, it doesn't matter how high you jump and all that good stuff. That all goes out the window. It's about technique and trying to do it the right way. But collectively, we've tried to really work hard at getting better rebounding, and we still got to get better with that, because it allows us to get out and try to play to our strength, and that is to try to get out and play fast in transition.
It's good to be back home in El Paso. I mean, obviously with the week your entire program had last week, was it feel a little bit better, especially in the new year and back in El Paso?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we've been on the road for a little bit, you know, and we've had a stretch where we've had to get out and be out, you know, and you know, obviously when you have a chance to come home and have a chance to be here, and now we're getting into a routine right now. I think a lot of times college athletes, you know, are at their best when they're able to get into a routine. You know, now we're in conference play. We know what we're doing every Monday. We know what we're doing every Tuesday, you know, and I think guys, you know, they perform better when they have those type of routines, and now we're about to embark on that, and I think we'll be better for that moving forward.
Take a few more questions.
People, it seems like have kind of made some adjustments to slow down Bryson a little bit. Do you guys adjust back, or you just need to get other people to?
Yeah, no, I think again, you know, Bryson's, you know, just like anybody, everybody on our roster is going to be game planned for now. Anytime you have game tape out and game footage, and that's when you get in the conference play, we've all seen each other right now. We all very familiar with each other, and you know, understand what we feel like we need to take away from them in terms of them having a chance to be successful. And I think likewise for us, they understand that, you know, he is a big part of what we do, but he's not the do-all and end-all for us to win games. You know, we need him to play well, just like we need, you know, Caden Archie to play well, Nigel Hawkins to play well, you know. So, you know, basketball is a team sport. There's no individual going to win the game for you. There's no individual going to lose the game for you. But obviously, you do have to make adjustments as the season goes. But you know what? You know, after about the third games, there were teams coming at Bryson and knew that Bryson was going to be a force and going to be a player that you had to deal with. You know, we've dealt with double teams since the second time we played New Mexico State, you know. So, you know, we played Texas Tech, we had to deal with double teams. So we dealt with double teams all year long, especially with our interior players. And, you know, our players have gotten better with that. We've taken a step back at times from playing out of double teams, and we just have to continue to get better and adapt and adjust with that. But we're going to get doubled all year, you know, whether it's Effie sometimes in there, whether it's Bryson in there, it's just what it is. And to be honest with you, you know, there are a lot of teams around the country that don't have the luxury of being able to play inside out, so that you don't have to worry about that. But we do, and we have a presence in there, and you know, we have to play off those guys. Sometimes you can put it in the post, not even with the intent of trying to score it in the post, but trying to play off of our post guy. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, we'll get better with that, and our team will continue to I think get better and excel as the season goes along.
Take one more question.
with the extended road trip you had, what do you think your team is taking from this that's gonna help them down the stretch?
Well, I think mentally, you know, anytime you go on the road, I think it's really hard to win games on the road, man. You got to be mentally tough, along with being physically tough. You know, you again, especially when you're doing with the team in a program that we're still, again, you know, as much as we want to, you know, be ahead of the curve and say that, you know, we've arrived, we really haven't arrived. We're still building a program here, you know, and we're doing it with young players that are sometimes fragile and sometimes still learning how to win and what it takes to win. And you know, you never reach where you just arrived. So we're still building that, you know, and you know, our young guys are young players that are getting better every day. And again, I think the biggest challenge for us is to continue to get better in practice every day. And if we get better in practice every day, we'll get better in games every day as well. But again, you know, they're developing, man. They're developing on the floor. They're developing in game situations. You know, they're learning how at certain junctures of the game. Now I got to control the game and win the game right now. You know, I've done enough right now. Now I got to get stops, you know, to close out this game. And but that's all part of the growing curve, you know. And we've been through that. And we've been in programs where we've had to develop that and go through those growing pains. You're going to go through those growing pains until they figure it out and until they understand what it takes to get that done. And, you know, we're going through that right now. And we're going to be better for it moving forward, you know. Everything happens for a reason. Everything in your life always happens for a reason. We say that, and that's a cliche you say all the time, but you know what? That's what it is, man, you know. And you know, you can't sit there and question it, you know, and, well, why me? Why did I get sick? You know, why did we lose that game? It was supposed to happen. You know, now, how do you deal with it? How do you move forward? How do you get better, you know, from it, you know? And so that's my perspective, you know, on life in general, and that's what I try to echo to my team. You know, we don't sit there and dwell and try to wallow in it, you know, and say, you know, poor me, sorry me. No, it's a new day. You have it for one night. Win or lose, you got to move on. Just like in life, you got a lot of adversity, you know? How you bounce back from it and how you move forward. So, you know, again, you know, we're going to tackle it that way. We're going to be excited about the opportunity. We know we have a team that we're going to have to deal with coming in Southern Miss that's older and played really well against us a year ago. And, you know we got to come play and play well.
Plans still to be back on Thursday? Still plans to be back on Thursday?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about being back. I mean, I'm still battling through a few things here and there, just like everybody in this room is probably battling through something, whether it's a head cold, touch of the flu, you know, this time of year is just what it is right now. But you know what? We got a job to do, and, you know, we got to, you know, hopefully continue to instill in our guys to get better on and off the court, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to keep pushing forward, you know. But everybody's got something this time of year that you got to endure and deal with, you know. So, you know, it's no different, you know, and stuff. I'm just blessed and thank God for being here. And thank you guys for being here today, and, you know, count your blessings every day, man. Don't take a breath lightly, you know. You know, so don't take it for granted.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys.